Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and the patch 10.2 PTR has been flooded with a ton of new class changes, where we have our very first glimpse at the Demon Hunter rework, a much requested nerf to the spec of Augmentation Evoker, a myriad of tier set improvements, and class changes for warlocks, priests, and even rogues. There's a lot for us to get into, and I want to jump into it as quickly as possible. But if you guys enjoy these kind of class update videos for the PTR, most of you watching these are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do, so let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway. Especially if you want to get more regular content regarding Dragonflight 10.2 or any of the future updates going forward. This week we finally get our first glimpse at the upcoming Demon Hunter rework. The newest PTR build only brings us a portion of that rework, mostly targeting the DPS spec of Havoc, but we do know even more is in the works for Demon Hunters, specifically for the class talent tree as well as for the spec of Vengeance. First, we have some new base class additions. Starting out with the defensive of Darkness. Players standing in darkness will have a base 50% chance to avoid all damage from an incoming attack. This avoidance chance is increased by 100% in smaller group content like arenas and mythic dungeons, greatly bolstering the utility the Demon Hunters bring in small group content. Next, the ability Fodder to the Flame has gained new functionality. Using Spectral Sight, you reveal a demon hiding from beyond the Twisting Nether. Slaying that demon instantly heals you and empowers your abilities for 20 seconds. This change allows you to spawn demons at your beck and call, tied to the new functionality of Spectral Sight, which normally sees very little use within PvE content. This changes the talent to be as a better on-demand option, and allows you to sync up the Demon Slayer buff easily with other offensive cooldowns. Where I could see issues with this talent is within the PvP content. Imagine you're out in the middle of an arena looking out for pesky rogues, but now a demon will instantly spawn and knock you out of your stealth vision window, which is definitely not ideal. The Havoc Demon Hunter Metamorphosis baseline is now a 3-minute cooldown, which is further reduced down to 2 minutes with certain class talent options. Metamorphosis duration is only 20 seconds, but the 2-minute CD downtime should better line up with most PvE encounters. Fell Eruption Stun is also now baseline for all Havoc Demon Hunters, as well as the Demonic Appetite talent, where carving out soul fragments from your foes will generate your 20 Fury when consumed. The Havoc Demon Hunter talent tree has seen a bit of a restructure, with many of your talents receiving reductions within the point allocation values. Your capstones have also been adjusted. You will still be able to spec into Essence Break, Shattered Destiny, and any means necessary, but you will now have access to a new version of Fell Barrage, which will drain your Fury rapidly while unleashing a torrent of Fell energy at nearby enemy targets until your Fury is depleted, similar to the functionality of Breath of Sindragosa with the class of Death Knight. Another option is a Fire Inside, which grants Immolation Aura 1 additional charge and even a chance to refund that charge whenever you use the ability. You're also allowed to have multiple Immolation Auras overlap each other at a time. Besides that, we also have a new talent of Deflecting Dance, where a Blade Dance now shields you from incoming damage during its animation. This is very similar to how Blade Dance used to function defensively for Demon Hunters, which would give them 100% dodge chance during the Blade Dance, which was last seen during the expansion of Battle for Azeroth. The talent will share a spot with Mortal Strike talent, which offers you a PvE or a PvP friendly option. We also see other smaller talent improvements, like the talent of Serrated Glaives, which can be now applied with Chaos Strikes, which is a big boon in single target, as well as Isolated Prey, which enhances Immolation Aura damage when used against a solo target. Another notable change of this PTR build is a nerf to the spec of Augmentation Evoker, which has proven itself far stronger than most of us would have imagined. This set of nerfs will target their performance in mythic dungeons, with reductions to the maximum health provided through Aspect's favor. Molten Blood Tank Absorb Shield has also seen a 50% reduction in volume, and the main buff of Ebonite will now provide your allies with less primary stats. So far, it's tough to call if this will be enough to throw out the spec of augmentation from the top, but it does seem that the devs are at least making efforts to reduce that spec's overall performance. This week also features a ton more tier set adjustments and improvements, starting with the class of Mage. The 2-set bonus for the Arcane Mage has become much easier to maintain with a new 20-second duration, and the 4-set also ramps up much quicker, with it requiring only 3 clear casting stacks to empower your next missile, which cleaves nearby targets and deals even more additional damage to your primary target. The Fire Mage tier set has also improved, with the 2-set buff increasing your crit damage by 4% per stack, resulting in a 20% more crit damage when fully stacked. Igniting yourself ablaze in combustion increases that crit damage stacks to 50% during its duration, which is a sizable new bonus. The Windwalker 2-set bonus becomes a little bit more broad. Anytime you score a free spinning crane kick, be it from your newest tier set or talents like Dance of Chi-Ji, both of them will always award you with a Blackout Reinforcement 4-set buff. Blackout Reinforcement increases the damage of your Blackout kick by 150% and helps further reduce the cooldown of certain abilities by an additional 2 seconds. For the class of Paladin, the Protection 2-set bonus has been slightly adjusted. Casting Judgments helps reduce all damage taken by 2% per stack, instead of only increasing your armor value. And the stacks required to reach maximum to activate your 4-set bonus has been reduced down to 5 judgments. While this is an improvement, the 4-set bonus for Protection still leaves much to be desired. The Retribution Paladin tier set has also seen few adjustments, with the 2-set pulls back on its damage over time bonus but buffs the Wrathful Sanctification cleave damage, and reduces the effectiveness of your secondary Tempest Verdict and Divine Storm. The Elemental Shaman 4-set bonus has been upgraded, where using Primordial Wave causes Lava Burst to burn your target for 4 seconds. During that time, casting Chain Lightning will cause Lava Burst to hit up to 3 additional targets with a Flame Shock active, which allows for the RNG Ascendance build to shine within Season 3. The Protection Warrior tier set has been massively improved as of this week. The 2-set empowers Shield Slams, which consumes your active bleed effects on a target to deal instantaneous damage. Normally, consuming bleeds through Shield Slams would put a debuff on the target, causing them to deal less damage to the warrior. This week, the debuff has become a personal buff. Instead of making one target weaker, the warrior instead grows stronger and more durable while this buff is active. Warlock's tier sets have also been adjusted, starting with Affliction, where the 4-set not only empowers the next Raptures, but also Seeds of Corruption. You even get the freedom to choose which of these 2 Soul Shard spenders you can empower and use the buff in any order. The Destruction tier set adds an AoE component to all Dimensional Rifts. Each rift will deal 25% more damage to nearby enemies from your primary target. For now on PTR, this does include your primary target, which results in a single target as well as an AoE damage increase. Then we have Demonology, where the 2-set bonus increases the damage of Doombrand, and the 4-set can randomly summon a Doom Fiend that will now cleave your targets with a Doombolt Volley, which does improve the random summon's AoE value. Besides this, we've also seen a bunch of new changes for Demonology specifically, with a big focus on depowering their massive cooldowns and enhancing their basic combat abilities. When using Nether Portal with Gul'dan's Ambition, the Pit Lord summoned at the end of his duration will now deal fire damage from a distance, but no longer gains any more additional damage from any demons summoned through the Nether Portal. The Demonic Tyrant has also seen a few more changes. First, the base Tyrant damage has been improved by 30%, but the Tyrant now becomes a lot more selective. Summoning a Tyrant will empower all of your Dreadstalkers, Vile Fiends, Felguards, and only 10 of your wildest Imps, which would mean the Demonic Horde summoned by Nether Portal will lose out on the Tyrant's empowerment value. Choosing to upgrade the Tyrant with Reign of Tyranny causes him to include 5 additional Imps to the empowerment window and increases his damage by 10% per demon empowered. But outside of major cooldowns, most of Demonology abilities have been bolstered, where Hand of Gul'dan, Wild Imps, Dreadstalkers, and Implosion has been buffed by 25%, while Demon Bolt, Shadow Bolt, and Grimoire Felguard have been buffed by 30%. Also, Demonology Warlocks talented into Immutable Hatred will increase the Felguard's Legion Strike priority target damage without losing out on the cleave damage value. The class of Praise has also seen a few more changes, with the spec of Disgrace seeing the largest batch of adjustments. First, the new shiny talent of Ultimate Penitence is far better in its targeting. Focusing on allies causes it to prioritize healing, while targeting foes changes its focus to damage instead. And the talent has also become 25% more effective as of this recent build. Then we see new changes to Shadow Covenant and its Shadow Fiend and Mindbender interaction. To access the buff of Shadow Covenant and embrace the shadow itself, Disgrace will need to summon their Void Form Companion. Generally, the Mindbender makes for a much better suitable ally when using the talent of Shadow Covenant due to its synergy, but it makes Shadow Fiend a lot less valuable. The Discipline Priest talent tree has since been adjusted, which allows Shadow Fiends to now benefit from Void Summoner, which helps cut back on a 3-minute cooldown. Shadow Fiend's duration can now also be extended with the talent of Inescapable Torment. Running a Shadow Fiend also gives you a better version of Shadow Covenant, while running a Mindbender gives you a weaker version of Shadow Covenant, which allows Priest a couple of options. Either play Mindbender, which is available more often but is lower impact, or run a Shadow Fiend, which has a much longer downtime but a much greater impact. And finally, we have a few more changes to the class of Rogue, where we saw some of the most overpowered talents straight up removed as of this week. First, a new class talent sits in the same node as Gouge, which allows rogues to blind a group of targets instantly with a reduced cooldown, which adds even more control within Mythic Plus dungeons. The Assassination Force bonus damage has been greatly bolstered, Caustic Spatter cleave damage has been further increased, and Indiscriminate Carnage duration is now 10 seconds from your opener, which helps you cleave bleeds into multiple targets. For the spec of Outlaw Rogue, the Grand Melee buff has been adjusted, where it now simply increases your damage dealt by 5% and causes Blade Flurry to deal more damage in group encounters. For the talent of Crackshot, the damage of your free dispatches has been reduced, which was very much expected as the talent was way too bursty. And we also have to say goodbye to an old fan favorite, the ability of Dreadblade, which was kind of insane to use during the first few weeks on the PTR. Finally, Subtlety rogues lose out on Stiletto Staccato, otherwise known as the Shadowblade cooldown reduction talent, as well as stunning secret AoE kidney shots, which was incredibly powerful in Mythic Plus dungeons, but it was expected that this one would be gutted. The talent of Gormaw's Bite has seen a shorter cooldown, which is a nice bonus. And the damage of Secret Technique has also been further increased by 12%, which will likely keep it a powerful finisher option within PvP content. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.